And we are back.
For another week of Celeste.
Well, technically it's...
Or the giant sperm.
We already recorded Monday, remember?
Did we?
Yeah, that's why I said we were only recording 6
yeah.
today.
Well, insider
I said that like 3 minutes ago. Sam's like, we're back for another week. It's like, God damn, Sam.
Well, we're still back for another week. That's not technically not true. But this is the first time we've started recording because we accidentally did 8 or we meant to do 8.
We overwent because it was the long episode, remember?
We also thought we were close to being done with this game, and then we realized...
No, you thought that, remember?
I thought we were close to being done because I was told 6 chapters. Like, cool. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is 6. 6 is the number that I was told. Therefore, 6 chapters. We're gonna be done. Woo! I was wrong. There's like 8 chapters or something. I mean, this series has done well for us so far, which awesome. We're glad you guys are enjoying it. Looks like you gotta bounce down now.
Yeah.
Ew.
I'm just trying to.
Apparently, there's no strawberries in this one too.
Yeah. Trying to get the bounce mechanics on this guy done.
So yeah, if you guys definitely keep it up, we will be
God
eventually doing the B-side, I imagine.
Yeah, I would love to. It is the plan. God damn. Trying to figure out how I can get my charge back fast enough.
I don't know. Oh, and I just saw something the other day that... not the other day. I saw it this morning. Why am I saying the other day? Anyways, I saw it this morning, and it was from back when we played Overcooked, and I didn't realize that Sauce Bear did another fan art of us, and I saw it, I was like, that's fucking adorable. I wish I could draw that cute.
You didn't see that
I never saw that one. I saw it today, and I was just like, that makes me happy.
I wonder... Ooh, you think I could, like, slam it straight up?
You might be able to. It probably would. I think that's what you
enough?
have to do.
No, I mean, because I can go around, but I think that's probably like a fast... It's probably speedrunning method or whatever.
Probably.
Whee! Oops.
Maybe? Can it break the pink stuff?
Yeah, I think it can.
It's funny that I'm staring at the screen, yet somehow I'm not paying attention.
I think it can break the crystal-y dudes. Whoa, that's hard. Okay.
And there goes another one.
So it's hard to think of, like, god dang.
Shoot.
They're so fast. It's hard to think of when this thing's gonna fade out, because you're like trying to, that sucks. You're trying to watch where you're going, but it flashes at the same time to let you know that you're running out of time.
Chris, you're talking about the game too much. Stop.
No! That's the opposite of what people don't want.
This is a TED Talk. I thought we established that when we started the channel.
This is a podcast. It's podcast style, yo. Podcast. It's like how Jen used to call, she'd be like, oh, Tide Pod. Like Tide Pod Challenge.
Oh, God.
Whoa.
Being a teacher during that kind of renaissance that we would call the Tide Pod Challenge was funny because some students went, yeah, go ahead, try it. And the other students were like, please don't do that. You know that will kill you, right? They're like, no.
Nobody really tried that.
I know. That was the thing. No one actually did it. Even the kids, like the parents that were afraid, well, if a kid ends up doing that, well, you know what? Darwin's law. Survival of the fittest. I don't know what to tell
man.
you. It's a little cruel and a little mean, and I feel bad, but at the same time, it's like, okay, there's an age restriction, I should say. If you're in middle school and you're trying that challenge, stop for a second and think.
Yeah, I was so close. It's over now. Why won't she leave me alone? I hate her.
Oh shit, I forgot my voices.
But she's part of me. I'll never be able to get rid of her. And she was right. Couldn't climb the mountain.
Just
you could. You just went down.
Yeah, stop being a negative Nancy, Celeste. I mean, Madeline. Quit being a negative Madeline. Don't be modular. Be fucking, I don't know. I can't think of it.
Guys, is it Madeline or is it?
It is Madeline.
Madeline. That's what
I don't know. It's the thing I come into every day when I go as a sub and go, all right,
can't go that way.
I'm gonna apologize ahead of time. I am going to screw up some of your names. I will get lucky occasionally, and you'll be like, I can't believe you said it right. And then other times you're gonna be like, how'd you get that one wrong? It's like, I don't know, AA Ron. I don't know.
AA Ron.
Things happen, and you begin to wonder. And I watched that skit this morning and went, wow, it's funny how accurate that is and not accurate at all. Because I worked at one of the tougher middle schools, which I still find to be hilarious, because I'm like, there are certain people who say like, oh man, you taught there? It's like, oh man, You mean a school with children? Yes, I taught with children.
You taught with children?
It's like it's a mile away from this school. You act like I'm teaching in Detroit in like the inner city. It's like, this is the Bay Area. Like, chill out. Like, we're not in the like deep heart of. We're not in Stockton, guys.
You're not in a.
Chill out for a second.
You're not in a. What you're trying to say is you're not in a location that they would make a movie about a teacher having a hard time.
Exactly.
The life around. Of the children.
I'm not in one of those situations. It's like when people tell me, it's like, oh, I can't believe you taught there. Isn't it tough? I'm like, well, what are you talking about?
Huh?
Like. These kids, they're kids. They are no different here. You want to know the difference between the kids I taught last year and your kids? They have perspective on life. Your kids are like homogenized in this white Christian bubble where they're like, oh, you mean there's other things outside? It's like, yes, there are other things outside, children. It's called the big world.
I thought there was no floor there.
Ooh. Oh. So I think you got to hold on to the side.
Hold on, yeah.
And then jump up. Yeah, nicely done.
I just don't know where to go now.
I remember.
Where the hell do I go now?
I think you have to keep riding it. So you have to,
but it stops at that wall.
So it stops at that wall. You sit and you recover, and then you go ahead. So then you have to hit it again.
I think I hit it. Oh, I hit it again.
Yeah, you have to hit it again, and then you ride it all the way. But I'll never forget this one confrontation I had with one of like the nicer schools in my district. My district's fairly big.
Oh no! I didn't think about that one ahead of time.
So it's funny that it's all basically the same town, but some schools don't have as much money because, you know, some parents have to work really hard and other parents, you know, have better incomes than other parents. So, like, wealth gets distributed differently amongst the district, which that's a whole...
I don't know how any of that works.
It basically comes from fundraising. So when there are like parents that actually can do fundraisers and give money back to the school, those schools are better well off. Not to mention the kids can afford to like pay for field trips and pay for supplies, whereas lower income families, which is the schools that I've mostly worked at, yet still in the same district, funnily enough, can't. So this is a predominantly, and this might be pretentious because I'm a white kid, but I also came from like a middle class family, like lower middle class, and my parents both worked there all the time, and my dad worked. Hey, car's broken. What are you gonna do? He's like, well, I guess I'll fucking figure it out. I'll have to fix it. It's like. A joke amongst my family was like, oh, something's broken. It's like, well, we're gonna have to live without it for a while. And I'm gonna learn how to fix it and find a book at the library, because that's how this shit's gonna go down. Because we can't afford a plumber, we can't afford a mechanic, we can't afford any of this shit unless it was something so big that was like, this might be bad.
Well, then you can afford it, couldn't you?
Well, no. Like it was like last absolute resort. Like, I broke my leg. I guess I need to go to the doctor.
I mean, you don't have to.
You don't have to.
A lot of people don't.
A lot of people don't. A lot of people don't and can't. But it was just always funny because we're like, well, we'll just figure it out. Like, the electrical work. Like, I don't know. My dad's like, I'll read a book. I'll figure it out somehow. Like,
you can afford going to the library? I don't think that's the thing. Libraries are free, right?
Libraries are free, but I'll never forget in college, I checked out a lot of books, and I knew I'd turn them in on time. I was adamant that I checked out, I was like 20 books for an assignment on doing a World War II project, doing turnarounds and character designs for one of my teachers.
Yeah.
And I turned all my books on time. They're like, oh, this book was late. I'm like, no, it's not. It's on time. When I checked them all out, I specifically asked the librarian, like, hey, are these books all due on the same day? And she's like, yeah, don't worry about it. We got you. I'm like, okay, cool. I'm solid. I'm fine.
What the fuck am I looking at here?
You're looking at something from a Tibetan monk that got drunk and mixes.
Oh, it's a bouncy.
Cells with a Pokemon character. I don't know.
Yeah.
And I remember going to the library and them saying like, oh, one of your books was late. I was like, okay. All right. And they're like, you owe us $5. I'm like, okay, cool.
Sam, you owe them $5. Just give it to the nice librarian.
I was willing to, but this is a time when I didn't carry cash anymore. I was a broke college student. I didn't have cash. I had the debit card, which had a couple of dollars so I could get on.
Did they not accept cash there?
They only accepted cash. So I just.
Or, I mean, yeah. Did they?
I just looked at librarians like, all I have is a debit card. I don't know what to tell you.
I don't have your mun-muns.
I don't have your mun-muns. And she looked at me perplexed and was just like, "How, you stupid kid? Why don't you have money on you?"
No, I mean, it's true. Why didn't you?
I'm going to art school. Of course I'm stupid. My brothers chose the right professions. I did not. I mean, I'm already making bad life choices. Don't get on me, all right?
Like, look, I already fucked up by not giving you back the book. Like, get off my case.
I gave the book, though. Like, the books got turned in.
I think.
The contention was...
The contention was, like... You're a dirty thiever.
No, I had all the books, and I turned them on the same day. And she's like, oh, these are late. I'm like, how come then when I talked to the librarian, she said, hey, man, it's okay.
What kind of awesome library did you go to where they had multiple... Oh, boy. I don't know how to get that
multiple
one.
What?
Where they had multiple librarians.
I don't know, but it was the same library that didn't hire me back in the day, so I already had a grudge.
I see. This book was a vendetta project.
It's become a vendetta project.
Oh, I can't hit that one.
Yeah, you gotta
dash into it.
Dash into it.
Oh.
I just look at her and go like, I'm returning the books. Like, I don't know what to tell you. Like, they're here. They're not damaged. I swear.
Oh!
I was told they're all due on the same day. Here I am bringing them back on the same day. And so
I think they secretly knew what you were trying to do.
I still owe the library $5, and I've never been back. And the funniest part about it is the library has been consistently one of my best, clients over the last couple years, because multiple libraries in my area hire me to do free comic book day where I draw for the kids.
Yeah.
And that's the one library that hasn't hired me.
I was gonna say, you accepted a job from the enemy?
No. From all the other libraries in the Bay Area, and I'm talking all over the Bay Area. I think I have 6 libraries booked or something this year. And last year was 5, year before that was 4.
Yeah.
And old family friend got me the gig, and it is kind of spiraled from there. But I still think it's funny because I owe that library $5, and I just was like, and for some reason I've just never gone back. I was
because you owe $5. You feel guilty. You're like,
no, I don't.
Oh, fuck that.
No, I don't feel guilty. It's more of a spite where I'm like, all right, I was told these are all on time. What is this bullshit with books being due on time? No one's coming to check out this book on World War II. Why does it matter? If I check about something, it's why am I gonna come back and be like, oh, I'm sorry, you have to return this book on Wednesday and the other books are due on Friday. It's this isn't Blockbuster. We all know what happened to Blockbuster when they had this kind of bullshit here. They don't exist anymore, library.
Are you trying to strong arm the library by saying, hey guys, if you think I'm paying for your shit,
no,
let me remind you of Blockbuster. I will own you.
If I was to damage a book or lose a book, that makes sense. You just lost the library's property. What the fuck are you doing wrong? I was more mad at the fact that I was promised they're all due on the same date, and then I was lied to, and it's oh no, you owe actually $5. But I'm returning the books. They're here. This isn't months after too. This is a day late.
Well, I mean, can't you check and see if they're there? Don't books have oops, I didn't see those. Don't books have Dewey Decimal System numbers and shit on them?
That's why I didn't get hired by the library, because I didn't understand how to do the Dewey Decimal System. And my complaint was...
I bet that was it.
That was
100%.
I'm gonna blame my not self for not having dyslexia and just not being able to read.
God damn you, Dewey!
Yes.
Is there multiple ways to go through this? Am I seeing
I have no idea.
Because I'm seeing up and down paths. Is it just whichever one I figure out?
I've just never had a reason to go back to that library. But if I was, I'd be like, oh, here's the $5. But part of me wonders do I owe them more money? Is this Blockbuster?
It is, man.
But I returned the books though. The books got.
I mean, that's something you got to figure out with the.
I just know one of these days, the library's gonna be oh no.
Oh.
So the best part about this, and I wonder if I'm kind of off the hook.
I think some people are gonna have some strong opinions about what you've been saying.
But I returned the books, and I'm sure people will. But the libraries are now getting rid of late fees, so I feel like I've won.
You're the statute of limitations on my book is done with. You do not own me.
But the thing that bothered me the most is I returned it. It's here. I didn't damage it. Why are you penalizing me for wanting to get educated, library?
I mean,
why?
They're a business. Whoa, I didn't see those. Because they're a businessman.
But I'm a business.
I didn't see those either.
I'm trying to start my business, and you're crippling me, library.
They don't owe you shit.
I barely can afford my BART ticket to school, and you're I need half of that. It's well, but they're on time. And I was told by the library, I had a verbal contract with the old lady.
Verbal contract.
She told me that it would be all due on the same day and not to worry about it. And now you're trying to strong arm me and say like, why don't you pay for this? And I feel
I'm loving this bit.
I feel like I was told, hey, this is okay. And then I was lied to when I finally get to the library. And her just face of self-defeat was just like, just go. Just get out of here. There's like 6 people behind you.
Just fuck off, kid.
Just go. And it's just like...
This is probably the whole speech you gave to her too, and she's like, I don't care. I don't get paid.
The thing is,
this is a volunteer job. What are you doing to me? You are shortening my life.
I wanted to pay her too. I was like, I have a debit card. Why don't you guys accept debit cards? Like,
probably because the minimum amount of money that they had at the time for funding did not give them debit readers.
Probably, but I've always been afraid to go to that library and then be like,
I would too.
It's like,
I'd be like, they're gonna fucking take my thumbs if I go.
I forgot about it for years, and then I remember it's just like, well, I mean, if I just never go, and then when I first took the job at the library, it's like, they're all part of the same...
They're all part of the same jurisdiction, right?
They're all part of the same institution. Can I just say, like, well, of all the good I've done for children...
All the good I've done for children!
Think of all the things
I have moral currency to spend here on my $5.
I've technically undercharged you for my performances. So, you know, I feel like it's kind of fair. Like, the amount I charge for an illustration for when I do, like, for Free Comic Book Day, I'll usually do 1 illustration or 2 illustrations for the library, and I'll only charge, like, $50. But I did this Avengers. No, but I did this, like, Avengers illustration. I think I spent, like, a week on it.
Yeah.
So, like, I went, like... super overboard. So
I think that was your guilt. I think that you were like, oh shit, I need to make this right.
Part of me feels like maybe this is guilt, but I've always like tried to top myself when it comes to library illustrations and really like put my best foot forward. And then when I charge like the $50, I'm like, you know what? Karma's gonna like be on my side in the end. They're gonna be like, you should have paid, but you did try and make up for it morally, but that still doesn't put you off the hook, fucker.
Yeah.
Pay the $5. Which, if I ever go to that library, it's gonna be the same situation with, I don't carry cash. Like, do you have a debit?
I'm sure they do now.
They probably do now.
That's probably the date that they installed it. They were
I don't even know what happened to my library card.
They were probably like, you know what? This kid went on a 17-minute rant about debit cards and books and Dewey's Decimal Systems and how he's going to be a future artist for us. And just get a fucking debit card reader.
It's funny how my life works in cycles. I'm still waiting for the other shoe to drop, though.
It will when the commentary and people are like, wow, what the fuck, man?
I didn't have any money on me, and then I forgot for years, and now it's one of those things that I'm afraid of going back because I'm afraid of what they're gonna say, or it's just like,
go back and it's the same librarian. She's like, I remember you.
It's like, but you shouldn't.
We will see you guys next time. Beep, bop, boo.
I'm waiting for the time when that library try and hire me, and then they realize, like, he owes us money.
You gotta look at the statute of limitations on library.
I'll just say it's like, how about I do it for free? And we just call it good. Like, I don't know if the fee can't have gone up because I returned the books.
I'd take you to prison.